Today we are going to cover Chapter 8, Exit of Make by Pieter Levels. And I have to say, this chapter was a chunky one. Peter's goal with this chapter was definitely to provide you with more of a map rather than any particular path. I'm not going to cover everything, but I will mention a few of the things that I thought were particularly interesting. When he's discussing first contact, he covers a few different types of buyers, and I thought it was really interesting how he categorized them. He says that by far your most common buyer are what he calls deadbeat, non-serious buyers who will contact you for crazy prices. And he says these types of buyers will actually make up the vast majority of the messages you'll get. The most dangerous type of buyer is what he calls the competitive snooper. This is someone who has no intention of buying your company, but is pretending to be interested so that they can learn more about you. These people are often competitors who are looking to know more about your business. And to fight off these people, Peter recommends setting up a breakup fee, basically a penalty, where if the deal doesn't go through, the buyer has to pay a certain amount to the seller. And then oddly, he distinguishes between serious but formal buyers and serious but informal buyers. The serious but formal buyers are great because they're serious and they actually want to buy your company, but the deals often take a long time because there's a lot more legal mumbo-jumbo to work through. Peter says the best type of buyer are serious but informal buyers because they have a lot of trust and they're really willing to work with you to make the deals go through quickly and easily. Let's talk about negotiation. Counterintuitively, Peter says the best time to sell is when you don't actually want to sell, because that's when you have the most bargaining power. But if your company is struggling and you're losing money and you just want to get rid of it, a potential buyer knows that you're motivated to sell and you're going to have a hard time commanding higher offers. Peter actually shares a Justin Kahn quote to this effect. Similar to raising money, the best time to sell your startup is when you don't need to or want to. Paradoxically, you are probably thinking about selling your startup as you are experiencing a lack of traction, tough competition, or a difficult time fundraising. However, this is a bad time to sell your startup. You'll have few bidders and be more likely to acquiesce to the demands of anyone who does show up. And this chapter actually ends on the line, the best time to sell is when you don't want to sell. I thought that was a really nice way to end. The other thing Peter mentioned is that you should avoid earnouts. An earnout is a bonus where you set an acquisition price with the buyer, but some percentage of that price is earned based on meeting some target. So effectively, you're staying on at the company, but you only get the full acquisition price if the company reaches some kind of revenue or sales target. And why that's so bad is that it means you have to stay at the company, and the owner is actually incentivized in some way to sabotage your efforts to meet those targets. So the incentives aren't perfectly aligned, and it's something to be aware of. Now, as we look to exit this video, I only talked about a few of the specific details in this chapter, but let me know in the comments what you found most interesting. Exit was the last chapter of Make by Pieter Levels. Tomorrow we'll be having a look at the epilogue, and of course tomorrow I will reveal the next Busy Book Club book. I hope you stay tuned, and I will see you tomorrow.